Abraham Maslow was considered as the founder of humanistic psychology, and he objected both behaviorism and psychoanalysis. According to Maslow, when we look at the emotionally disturbed and even the abnormal examples, we tend to ignore the positive qualities that humans exhibit, like happiness, contentment, and peace of mind. According to Maslow, he said that we underestimate human nature when we fail to examine the best in people, that is, the most creative, healthy, and mature individuals. So he decided that in his approach, he will assess only the society's most outstanding representatives, and it is only in this way that we can determine the full range of human nature. So he concluded after his research that each person is born with a set of instincts which help us to grow, develop, and fulfill our potential. Now, moving on to his life history, he was born in 1908 in Brooklyn, New York, and he was the oldest of the seven children. He grew up very isolated and unhappy. His father was aloof, and he abandoned his very unhappy marriage very early on. And his mother was a superstitious woman who would punish him for even the smallest wrongdoings. Once when Maslow was a child, he brought home 2 stray kittens, and because of this, his mother was so angry that she beat to death the 2 kittens, which was in turn the cause of the resentment that he had towards his mother, even towards her later life. As a child, Maslow was very different from the others, and he was very embarrassed about his physique, and because of this, he developed an inferiority complex. He tried to compensate this feeling of inferiority by trying to excel in athletics, which turned out to be not so good, and thus he turned to books. So he would go to the neighborhood library, he would sit there from morning till evening, and to his classroom he would come 1 hour early, and he would sit there with the permission of the teacher to read books of various sorts. So his desire for books was matched with his passion for his cousin Bertha. Later on in his life, he married her, and after this union was the first time in his life where he felt a sense of belonging and a sense of direction in life. In the 1930s, he became enraptured in behaviorism, and he thought that this could solve all problems. His training in this included the work on dominance and sexual behavior in primates. It was such a huge shift from the behavioristic framework to a more humanistic psychology. What influenced this shift was World War II and the birth of his son, which both coincided at the same time, and this was a time where Maslow himself said that he felt that he had no sense of control, and he felt very small, weak, and feeble because of all this. This is when he shifted his perspective to a more humanistic point of view. He got his PhD from the College of Wisconsin, and then he started teaching in Brooklyn College for around 20 years. It was after this that Maslow witnessed a parade after Japan's surprise attack on the American naval base. It was after this that he changed his thinking and devoted himself to completely developing a psychology that would deal with the highest of human ideals. He wanted to work to improve human personality and demonstrate that people can actually exhibit good behaviors rather than prejudice, hatred, and aggression. It was after this that he won many awards and was honored at many places, and he was elected as the president of the American Psychological Association in 1967. It was at the peak of his fame when he got a variety of ailments such as stomach disorders, insomnia, depression, and even heart disease. But even still, he pushed himself to work extremely hard into developing a humanistic perspective of psychology which other people could follow. And it was in 1970 that he suffered from a major heart attack while he was jogging around his own swimming pool.
Hi guys! So now that you have a basic idea about Abraham Maslow and his approach, we will now be looking into his theory, the needs hierarchy.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs is often displayed as a pyramid. The lowest levels of the pyramid are made up of the most basic needs, while the more complex needs are located at the top of the pyramid. Needs at the bottom of the pyramid are basic physical needs. Once these lower level needs have been met, people can move on to the next level of needs, which are for safety and security. As people progress up the pyramid, needs become increasingly psychological and social. Soon, the need for love, friendship, and intimacy become important. Further up the pyramid, the need for personal esteem and feelings of accomplishment take priority. Maslow emphasized the importance of self-actualization, which is a process of growing and developing as a person to achieve individual potential. So our most basic needs is our physiological needs. This could include anything from food, water, breathing, sleep, etc. All of these are essential to survive. The second level is our need for safety. Safety of resources, safety of employment, safety in health, property, etc. All of these are basic needs but can only be fulfilled when our physiological needs are fulfilled. These two levels are the basic levels. Then he went on to name a third level, need for love. Our need to belong, our need for friends and family. So this level of needs is what we call our social needs. The fourth level is our need for esteem, self-esteem. So we like to feel confident and sense of achievement in whatever we do. So this level is called our level of respect because we like to gain respect from others when we reach this level. And the last level is called the level of self-actualization. It is a big word, but it is basically our need for wanting, sense of morality, a need for acceptance and creativity. So we call this our full potential. So think of this as climbing the Mount Everest. We start at the bottom, but then along the way you're going to have different checkpoints. Unless you check in at each of the points, you cannot go to the next level. An important aspect that we need to note here is that the level of self-actualization is the only one which does not arise out of a deficit or absence of anything. The need for self-actualization is not about missing anything or needing anything tangible, but is related to the need for growth, understanding and fulfillment. It arises when one wishes to become all one can become. The need for meaning and purpose at this level also means that one becomes more sensitive to large social issues and the welfare of the community, including the whole human community.
Abraham Maslow gave us two concepts, which includes syndromes and self-actualizers. According to Maslow, he believed that the organization of personality could be best understood by using the concept of personality syndrome. Personality syndrome was considered to be a group of functionally equivalent feelings and behaviors that are relatively resistant to change. For example, an insecure person might express the need for power in many ways, one of them being prejudice. So a tendency to prejudice would be considered as a sub-syndrome of the need for power. Unfortunately, Maslow's concept of personality syndrome is least discussed in the rest of his work as there are too many ambiguities in the same. When we look at the different organization of personality in accordance with syndromes is considered as a structured, organized, complex structure of apparently diverse specifications which include behavior, thoughts, impulses, and actions and perceptions. So when studied, they have a common unity to a similar dynamic meaning or purpose. Maslow also gave us the concept of self-actualizers. He suggested that to develop a complete and more comprehensive understanding of the human person, it is necessary to study people who have reached their fullest potentials and understand the same. He studied a group of self-actualizing people who are very rare to find, and they portrayed certain characteristics which include they're very realistically oriented, they accept themselves for who they are, they're more problem-centered than self-centered, they have an air of detachment and a sense of privacy, they're autonomous and independent, they have a great fund of creativeness, they resist conformity. He investigated the nature of what he calls peak experiences. He believes that the people who are persons undergoing peak experiences feel more integrated, more at one with their selves, more their own boss, the more spontaneous and more perceptive. We will now look into assessment techniques. The first being personal orientation inventory. given by Everett Shoston. It's a self-report questionnaire consisting of 150 pairs of statements to measure self-actualization. It clearly followed Maslow's need of hierarchy theory. Second one is motivation assessment scale given by Durand and Crimmins. It was given by school psychologists to determine what drives the students to make bad choices and emerge and engage in antisocial behaviors. The Mayer-Briggs inventory assesses the correlation between specific tasks and the people. The MSP Motivation Assessment Program given by the National Science Foundation prescribes tendencies in academic aptitude and behavior and aims to measure the correlation between the instructional intervention and the motivational outcomes.